Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Today we'll be learning about this year's Common Reader, and my guest today, Elaine Bassett with the Writing Center at Troy University.
Yes.
Thanks for joining me here today.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure.
And as I mentioned, the Common Reader for this year, it has been announced, and it will be a sci-fi classic that many people
That's
have enjoyed and loved over the years. Tell us what this year's book is going to be.
This year's book is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, and I am excited about it. I think it's going to be a good selection for us.
And now, before we get into the book and how and why it was selected, let's talk about the Common Reader program and what it does and why we do this here at Troy.
Well, Troy focuses on writing and reading because we know that those are important skills that all educated people need to have. And engaged reading is very important to us. So we have this Common Reader for all of our incoming freshmen to read and discuss and write about, because this good engaged reading leads to critical thinking, which leads to good decision making and real education. So it's just the beginning of college education.
And of course, the Common Reader itself and the program, you would think, okay, this is an English-only thing. We're talking about books, we're talking about reading books, but it doesn't stop there, right?
Oh, no, it doesn't, and that's just a starting point. In fact, in this book, there are so many disciplines that can be involved in this, everything from sociology to science to technology. All of that can come from this book here. And reading is important to all those disciplines. That's how we gather information. That's how we absorb ideas. So reading is important, and this book, I think, is going to feed that need that we have.
Let's talk about the book itself. A lot of people have heard of the book. A lot of people are familiar with it. A lot of people probably read it in some curriculums at the high school level. They offer it up. But let's talk about the book and how this one was selected. So
basically, this is the story of a fireman whose job is actually to set fires. What the firemen do is burn books. Books are outlawed. They're illegal because they contain ideas. And the whole idea of the society is to feel as little as possible and think as little as possible, so that everybody's alike and everybody does the same thing and there is no depth, which sort of sounds familiar, you know? And so the main character, who's a fireman, his life turns when he watches a woman give up her life to die with her books. And he starts to think, what is there in these books that is so important that this woman would want to die for it? And that begins his exploration then into that band area. You know, he gets fascinated with it, and we watch his life unfold then.
And of course, how appropriate a book for something that's supporting a reading initiative.
Of course, isn't that perfect?
It's kind of, you've got like meta levels of meaning there. So.
Absolutely, yeah. And to top all of this off, this year, Troy was awarded a grant from the National Endowment for the Arts, the Big Read Grant, and we're going to share a book with the city and the university, and this is the book we're using for it too, Fahrenheit 451. So we were the only entity in Alabama awarded the grant this year. So we're excited about having this not just as our Common Reader, but having it as a community read also. So
a book about
lots
the
of good
importance of reading and books to help kind of spread the message of the importance of reading and books. And my mind is blown. It just exploded all over the place.
I know, isn't that perfect? You know, just a perfect
and
circle.
It's, you know, a book that a lot of people have heard of, and it's a modern book written in the 50s.
Right.
So and it's a science fiction book. So and a lot of people might catch on to that kind of concept.
Oh, yeah, it's fascinating too that some of the things Ray Bradbury does in here actually are too relevant to us today. You know, they wear these little seashells in their ears to listen to music, like earbuds, and they watch these big TVs over the whole wall. I mean, you know, that was just wild in his day, right? But it is very common now.
We see that, and of course, the students will start reading this come this fall, and the freshmen will learn about that over the summer during the Impact. So
that's right. They will be learning about it during Impact, and then this will be incorporated into our Troy 1101 class. They'll read through there and have discussions about it. Plus, we have all kinds of really good activities planned
throughout the year, and obviously with the many interpretations of the book as well out there, a chance to spread the knowledge in a variety of ways.
Oh,
well, it sounds like it's going to be a fun book for people to read,
I think so.
Hopefully they'll pick it up, and everyone will pick it up and check it out this
Hope
year.
so too.
Well, thanks for joining me today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for joining us for today's edition of Trojan Talk. That's all the time we have. Now, back to the news desk.